Have you ever felt like everything seems fine on the outside, but something deep inside of you just isn't right? Like you smile in public, do your duties, reply to messages, but the moment you close the door to your room, the silence screams louder than your thoughts. If that sounds familiar, you need to stay until the end of this video. Because today, I'm going to reveal 3 things you do every day, that might actually be signs of hidden depression. And no, I'm not talking about feeling sad for a little while, or just having a bad day. I'm talking about something quiet, invisible, but deeply devastating. Something that affects millions of people around the world, and often goes unnoticed, even by those who suffer from it. This isn't just another video. It's an honest conversation. It's a mirror you might not want to look into, but you need to. Because if you recognize these signs, you might be saving your own life, or someone else's. Sometimes, the most dangerous things aren't the ones that scream, but the ones that stay silent. And with hidden depression, that silence is deafening. So open your mind, but most of all, open your heart. What you're about to hear might give you the answers you've been looking for, even without knowing it. Symptom number 1, constant fatigue, even if you sleep. Imagine this, you wake up after 8 full hours of sleep. You don't have a demanding schedule. You didn't work out the night before. And still, you feel exhausted. Not just tired, but like your body weighs 3 times more. Like every step is a struggle. Like every simple task feels like climbing a mountain. Has that ever happened to you? This kind of fatigue doesn't go away with a nap or a cup of coffee. Because it doesn't come from your body, it comes from your soul. When you're constantly battling negative thoughts, when you feel that inner emptiness, when there's that quiet voice telling you nothing makes sense, your mind gets drained. And when your mind is exhausted, your body follows. Hidden depression doesn't always show up as tears or dramatic breakdowns. Sometimes, it disguises itself as laziness. But it's not laziness. It's an internal war that no one sees, but you fight every single day. And the cruelest part is, you blame yourself. You think, I'm lazy, I have no motivation, I'm ruining my life. But you don't realize there may be something much deeper going on. Because with hidden depression, the harshest judgment doesn't come from others, it comes from within. And while people say, cheer up, all you really want is for the world to pause for a moment, just so you can breathe. You don't say it, but you think it. And that thought is there from the moment you open your eyes, until you force yourself to close them at night. Have you ever asked yourself why you feel this way, even though in theory, you have everything to be okay? A job, a home, a family, your health, and still, something inside feels broken. That's the destructive power of hidden depression. It makes you feel guilty for not being okay, even when you should be. And that emotional fatigue becomes a cycle. You feel drained, so you don't get things done, then you get frustrated, then you blame yourself, and then you feel even more exhausted. It's a loop that seems endless. But there is a way out. And it starts when you recognize that this isn't laziness or weakness. It's a symptom. It's a sign. And the first thing you must do, is stop ignoring it. Because the more you hide it, the more power it gains. And I know, you've been doing it to protect yourself, to keep going, to avoid being seen as weak. But there's great strength in facing your pain. And even more strength, in asking for help. Symptom number 2, withdrawing from others without an obvious reason. Maybe you used to love talking, going out, sharing moments. But lately, something changed. You delay replying to messages, or don't open them at all. You avoid phone calls. You prefer to stay home, not because it's cozy, but because you don't have the energy to pretend that everything's fine. Sometimes you even ask yourself, why don't I want to see anyone? And the answer, painful as it may be, could lie in that deep sadness you've buried, that's now showing up as isolation. And the worst part is, others start to think you've become distant, or that you just don't care. But they don't know that inside you, there's a fierce battle going on, between your desire to connect, and your inability to do so. It's not that you don't want to. It's that you can't. Not right now. Because you're doing everything you can just to stay on your feet. And that is already a battle. And maybe you tell yourself, I'm better off alone. But deep down, you know that's not entirely true. The truth is, being around others takes emotional energy that, right now, you simply don't have. And that, too, is a sign. People with hidden depression tend to isolate themselves, to protect others from their pain. Without realizing that this isolation only deepens the void. And here's where something really painful happens. You start to feel like you don't belong. Like the world keeps spinning without you. Like no one would notice if you were gone. And that idea begins to grow, whispering darker and darker thoughts. What if no one notices me? What if I disappear, and nothing changes? That disconnection from others isn't just social. It's emotional, spiritual, deep. You feel like a stranger in your own life. You see others smiling, moving forward, planning their future. And you can barely handle the present. You don't know if you're sad, empty, or just tired of feeling so much and not being able to explain it. This is one of the most ignored symptoms of hidden depression. Because there are no screams. No desperate cries. Only silence. And often, that silence is a cry for help in disguise. If you're living this right now, listen closely. You are not alone. There are thousands of people feeling the exact same thing right now. And even if it feels impossible, you can feel connected again. You can feel like you belong again. But first, you need to stop pretending you're okay. You need to give yourself permission not to be okay. And you need to understand that asking for help isn't giving up. It's the beginning of healing. Symptom number 3, pushing yourself to the limit, so you don't have to feel. Are you one of those people who never stop? Who always have a full schedule, who are always helping others, meeting expectations, staying busy, never resting? Praised by many, but exhausted inside. This is one of the most common masks of hidden depression, emotional hyperactivity. You try hard, you shine, you achieve, you produce. And yet, there's a void nothing can fill. Because that constant doing is often a way of not feeling. A way of not listening to what's happening inside you. Of running away from that silent pain that scares you more than any failure. You're so focused on others, on responsibilities, on your endless to-do list, that you forget about you. But your body doesn't forget. Your soul doesn't forget. And there comes a day when that pain you've been carrying starts to speak. Through insomnia. Through anxiety. Through sudden tears you can't explain. Through a sadness that has no name but feels more real than anything else. The big problem is that this symptom often looks like success. Look at everything they do. They're always busy. So responsible. And you convince yourself that you're okay, because you're being productive. But when night falls and silence settles in, everything comes rushing back. And that's when the truth shows up. When you turn off the lights and can't sleep. When your heart feels heavy for no reason. When loneliness isn't about being without people, but without yourself. Has that happened to you? That extreme self-demand can be a trap. Because the more you do, the farther you get from what you really need. Rest. Listening. Compassion. How long has it been since you really asked yourself how you're doing? How long has it been since you did something just for you, not out of obligation? Because a life full of commitments but empty of meaning, is a prison. And many people live that way, not knowing that what they carry isn't just stress. But stored up sadness. Pain that hasn't been named. Wounds that never healed. And the more you run, the more it chases you. Today, I want to invite you to pause. To listen. To look honestly at the parts of you that hurt. Because only then can you begin to heal them. It's not about doing more. It's about feeling more, and healing. If you identified with one, two, or all three signs we mentioned, don't ignore what your body and soul are trying to tell you. Hidden depression is one of the most invisible and dangerous forms of emotional suffering. Because it doesn't always show. Because many times, even you don't know you're going through it. But there's something very powerful happening right now. You're here. Listening. Recognizing. And that alone is a huge step. Because awareness is the first step to healing. You are not broken. You are wounded. And wounds, they heal. But they need air. They need truth. They need love. Maybe no one has told you this today. So let me be the one to say it. You deserve to be okay. You deserve to rest. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to put down that weight you've carried alone for so long. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to be strong all the time. You just need to be you, fully you. With everything that comes with it. And if right now you feel like you're about to break, breathe. Because sometimes, when it feels like everything is falling apart, it's actually falling into place. Into something new. More real. More you. More free. Right now, I want to speak to the most tired part of you. The one that's been holding everything in for so long, unnoticed. The one that cries in the shower. The one that smiles in public but breaks down at home. The part of you that doesn't ask for help because you're afraid to look weak. To you, the one who keeps going even when you don't know how. Thank you. Thank you for holding on. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for opening your heart in this moment. Because yes, even listening to these words is an act of courage. It means you haven't given up completely. That there's still a small light shining inside you. Don't put out that light. Nurture it. Protect it. And allow yourself to receive love, support, help. It's not shameful to need others. It's deeply human. We live in a world that praises independence, but forgets we were born to be part of a tribe. To walk together. To heal together. So if today you feel fragile, welcome. You're alive. You're feeling. And that alone is already a victory. And if you've made it this far, I want to tell you something important. This video isn't just information. It's a hug. A hand reaching out. A direct message to your soul. You matter. You are worthy. You can heal. Hidden depression may be silent. But you don't have to be. Today, you can start breaking that silence. Today, you can choose you. And if you don't know how, start by sharing this video. Maybe someone else needs to hear this as much as you do. Maybe you need to hear it again tomorrow. Leave me a comment and tell me if you related to any part of this. Subscribe if you want to keep receiving content that heals, that supports, that transforms. And above all, remember this. You are not alone. You never were. And you never will be.